Hello and welcome back to Ionized Bastards. I'm your GM, Michael. We are nearing the end of the season and by consequence also the series. We're finally back after Andor and celebration delays and all sorts of fun stuff. But we got a handful of episodes left. But before we get into all that, a little bit of housekeeping. In case you haven't heard, I have a Patreon now. Yes, All Remaining Systems is now on Patreon.
Give me money.
Give me money to pay for StreamYard because this shit is expensive. And I have done nothing but lose money. So any little bit can help me. So help keep the show going, as well as the High Republic RPG that's to come when this show is done.
Also, shouts out new channel logo. I didn't notice that until
it's mostly just kind of a placeholder. I threw it together in like 5 minutes, and
I dig it. I dig it though. I like the D20 with the ARS on it. It's really cool.
Yeah, we'll see if it changes. But without further ado, let's get into this shit. So, when last we left off, the crew of the Ionized Bastard head to Aldhani in search of Goru Sarman. 4D had been given a hit order by Zuso, former member of the crew, currently staying behind with the New Republic to try and help crack the salvage code. You guys arrived at Aldhani and encountered a Jedi survivor by the name of Tuck Solace, former Boken Padawan of Quinlan Voss.
Love that guy.
You guys traverse the mountain through the Sacred Valley, making your way to Goru's lair. You pass through a village of former mods who now seem to be missing, presumably kidnapped by salvage. You guys got confirmation that Faven, someone from his past, Argo Kalen, had in fact survived the purge, which brought Faven a lot of relief. You fought a droid outside of Goru's lair and helped rescue a leading scientist in the Outer Rim on midichlorians who Salvage was after for nefarious purposes relating to him wanting to implant his consciousness within a Force sensitive. You guys talked with Goru and learned that 40 had been given this hit order, but ultimately you decided to spare him as he was working toward getting his own people back from salvage. So, Tuck has gone off with the scientist while y'all have just arrived back at the Bastard with Goru, who is also lugging around a crate with the remaining cache of the Doxos Revenge within it.
So, quick question.
Yes.
This is, by all counts, all that remains of the Doxos Revenge.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think we're just going to usher them in there, put the Doxos Revenge in some type of cargo hold.
He helps bring it in and place it securely. It is very well contained within its container. It is clearly meant to store chemicals like this, so there's very, very little chance of anything leaking out of
it. Okay.
Heard that before.
All right.
No one? All right. Tough crowd.
I was sure exactly what you were referencing, so I apologize.
This is a general sex joke, Jared. There's no chance of anything leaking out of it.
That was 40 gave a pity laugh. There you go.
Jesus Christ.
40-44 approves. Do we want to have like anybody on like a guard duty on this thing in the event?
Is someone
anything?
You guys still don't trust in me?
It's not a you thing. It's a critical redundancy thing.
Yeah.
All that.
but we've been up and down this road of getting our asses beat, people threatening us, people turning on us, not knowing who's a regular person and who's got something in their head and everything. So it's just, we're developing a system.
Yeah, critical redundancy. 40, you and I can take turns while we're in hyperspace, guarding the cargo hold. Do we want to touch back in with the New Republic while we get boots off the ground here? Anybody?
I mean, we might as well, as long as we're using secure channels. As long as that's all,
All right. Well,
after everything with pre-poke, I feel like I'm not quite sure how readily available they are going to be to help, since we didn't really. I don't know, but they might want to know about.
Just letting everybody know who's on the New Republic capital ship know that we're coming in with the very important package.
Yeah, they might want this as stuff. Probably more than you guys want this as stuff.
Much more than we do. As we begin to take off, then I think Fabian goes to the holo projector and starts trying to page Donric over on the New Republic ship.
Yeah, sure. It takes a couple minutes, but Donric does ultimately get to the comm. Fabian, please tell me you have good news.
We have great news. Scary part out of the way. We did encounter salvage on Aldani. He was in an Imperial Dark Trooper prototype thing body. We took him out. No problem there. We definitely have confirmation that he is trying to get into a Force-sensitive body. He had kidnapped a midichlorian specialist. She has been rescued and is now in the hands of another Jedi we ran into named Tuck.
How many friggin' Jedi are out there? I thought all of y'all were dead except for Skywalker.
I can talk to Skywalker about it, man. That's his problem.
I don't even know where that asshole is.
I'm sure he'd come in handy right about now.
Small galaxy, everyone. That's what they love. They love to talk about it. How it's a small galaxy on the data pad.
Has anyone seen my action figures? Where are my action figures?
Getting slammed into mine, 40. But no. So Tuck got out of here to take the midichlorian scientist back to what remains of the hidden path. I'm sure we'd be able to get a hold of him pretty easily if we need to, but she is in safekeeping, not around us. So that limits the ability for Salvage to get everything he wants in one place. And we have Goru Saruman and the Doxos Revenge with us en route to you.
Okay, that is good news, I guess.
What's sit rep on your side?
Well, we've had a few small encounter with Salvage's forces after the Vuma attack. Most of them seem to have fled. From what we can tell, we captured a few of his agents, I guess you would call them, but most of them seem to think he's losing control over his forces. Can't really keep a hold. He's not exactly one to inspire loyalty. And if all these people are after his money, then they're not going to stick around. So again, this bodes well for us.
Cool. Keep them in the brig. We'll be able to talk to them when we arrive. See what we can glean, speaking with them ourselves, and see if we can get any good inside intel out of them.
When you get here, I know Sage wants a word with you about the whole situation with his son.
I would hope that he had words about this situation. I hope he's not just standing around, keeping secrets or anything. I hope we're past that.
One would hope. But yeah, we're coming in hot. We have Goru. Let Zuzo know that we're coming in with Goru, and just simply tell him we know about the little search and destroy mission he sent 4D on, and that none of us are very pleased with him about it at the moment. But he's going to have to put on his big Gungan pants and be ready to work with Goru to crack Salvage's frequency.
Do I even want to know what any of that means?
No. Tell him we're pissed. We're coming in with Goru, and he better get over himself very quickly.
I'll relay that message. So, you guys make the jump to hyperspace. You have Goru and Halex there on your ship with you. If there's anything you guys would like to discuss on the way there, you can do so now, or we can just skip ahead. Up to you.
Well, I feel
Can
like
I ask?
we're good.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to ask, kind of in game, kind of out of game. Is 4D proficient with melee weapons?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I thought you said that he wasn't yet, and I was like, how many times do we have to do a cute training with my dad scene before I can just make him proficient? Ooh, you got stabbed.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's brutal.
Ooh.
I saw
Same
it.
place he got me last time.
I saw it.
Fatherhood.
He knows.
I saw contact get made, and I
Fatherhood.
felt it in my
It
hand.
being the same place is one of those like fool me once situations.
Yeah.
Can't
See, I'm
get
not
fooled
even
again.
mad at this point. That's yeah.
Go on.
No, that's all. I wasn't sure if 4D was like proficient with either the electric staff or the lightsaber.
Yeah, I think it's
we love a daddy and me, training scene though.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
We love 4D and the way he trains.
Isn't he great? Like a child, but he can kill you. He can snap your neck.
He's a beautiful baby droid who's 11 years old, and
They tell me he's a little
36.
droid that he's their son, but he's a little bit bigger than the rest of them. I find that interesting. We're working on that. Fucking hate this guy. I hate him so much. Anyway,
moving on.
Yeah.
I mean,
Stop being-
have we gotten all the information we can get out of Goru so far about what he knows about what's going on with salvage? Is there anything else we can glean from him?
I mean, you can talk to him a little bit more, go over it with him if you want. He's generally been pretty forthcoming with all.
Did we give? I guess I should just say this in character. Did we make sure to remind our new crew member the policy about technology and everything right now on the Bastard? You need to be analog as hell. No upgrades, no tinkering, no being on, no nothing, no Wi-Fi, nothing. You need to be, if there's a part of you right now that can connect to something, I apologize, turn it off. You need to be more Gungan than machine at the moment.
Thalbor, Misa been very careful ever since dealing with this whole salvage debacle.
I'm just making
I'm
sure.
sorry. Do Yusa know tech better than Misa know tech?
Oh boy. Here we go. Okay.
It's a question, Thalbor. Please, I would love to hear Yusa answer.
We had a really nice thing going with the 3-man version of the crew, and now we're back
Objection,
to the 4-man version.
non-responsive.
Okay. I respect that, actually. That was good.
Was that Goru or Halex
Yes.
who did that?
That's
Okay.
Goru.
All right. Well, I'm going to go to the refresher and read some articles.
He means he's going to take a shit.
I thought he said no HoloNet.
I buy print. All right. I have sources.
He's got the flimsy.
All right.
Thalbor's the kind of guy who prints off Facebook posts to read the comments.
Yeah.
Thalbor has stackies. Thalbor has stackies.
Stackies.
What are you
Holy
talking
shit.
about?
Oh man. Okay, so Thalbor, well, or not your Thalbor, you go take a shit. Goru, take me top to bottom. From the moment you got into this whole Doxos revenge insanity up till now. Everything. I don't care if there's a single detail you think does not matter. Tell me everything.
Misa had been away from Misa modding crew for a little bit, doing some various jobs.
Yes.
Just kind of how it goes. It's not uncommon for us to go no contact for a little while, so it wasn't unusual when I hadn't heard anything. Misa get hired for the Exarian job, designing the Smarty Cup and bringing it to the party, all that stuff. Working on some pods was the cover, all that stuff. I was referred to Vera by Salvage, I found out later.
Had you knowingly worked for Salvage before then?
No, Misa didn't know who Salvage was. Salvage told Vera to hire me. And so the rest you pretty much know. We did all the stuff. Yusa killed Misa Beastie. And then I got shot by a Lasat and escaped from that Lasat, and then had to go on the run from that. Misa find out mi boyos on Aldani got kidnapped, and Misa been hunting salvage ever since.
How were you on Salvage's radar? Is what I'm curious about. I'm not saying I don't trust you. I'm not saying that I think you're bullshitting me. I just want to understand how you ended up on Salvage's radar before he was on yours, and what paths must have crossed for him to go, this guy is a good candidate. Because, just not to discredit your work, just, anti-Gungan sentiment is a thing. It's kind of crazy picking you out of a lineup. Like, did he? When did he pick you? Was it in the 6 months after the Vuma incident?
Would have had to be, but
do you know about your relationship to Zuzo? I don't.
Bingo. That droid hates Yusa 3. 4 if you include Zuso. I don't know what Yusa guys did to him, but he really has it out for you.
Well, we beat his metal ass over Vuma. Stopped him from having his big, scary droid army. Because
there was a droid army?
It was a whole thing. There was like a map. There was parts of a map, and then there was a secret droid factory from the Clone Wars. And
is it now? I'm just asking. I'm out of professional curiosity. That droid army, is it still around?
We launched his Star Destroyer into the factory.
So probably not, man.
We went through a lot of trouble to destroy that factory, or at the very least find it. So if it was still standing and you went anywhere near it, it would be your metal ass next.
Could be a good place to get some scrap parts, though.
As a professional courtesy, I'd ask that you not go looting around our previous missions.
It's just a thought, Fabian. It's just a thought.
Well, unthink it.
So at this point, 40, you're kind of watching this whole conversation go down. And Halex kind of comes up to you and like leans up against the wall kind of next to you. So you were given a hit, huh?
Yes, and although you might be surprised by my appearance, I do not quite like to kill.
No, yeah, I got that impression. I mean, good on you, though, making that call.
My base programming is a companion droid. And if I did not have to kill him, I wasn't going to kill him. I wanted to kill him for my friend. But there's more that this Gungan has to do in this world with us. So there's no way I would have done that. More importantly,
you can make your own choices, 4D. So often in the Assassins Guild, we're kind of taught that, we're just the weapon at the end of the day. We're not responsible because someone else is pulling the trigger. We're just the one doing the job, An arm of the person who's contracting us, if you will. But it's not really true. We have agency. We have choice. And I think you made the right one for what it's worth.
Thank you, my friend. And then 40 gives her one of his,
her arms are like crossed. Looking at you as you do that, but ultimately does kind of like wrangle one of her arms free and give you like 2 back pats, and then
buddy, hey, yeah, that's great, yeah.
Careful with the stump. I'm sure it's still tender. But oh man, I'm How did Salvage find out about your history?
I mean,
Like,
it's not that hard to connect the two cyborg Gungans together. Me and Zuso back in the day, we kind of had a name for ourselves in the Outer Rim. We were
I
a
guess
little
that's my question: is
mischievous.
how like notorious were you guys for it to be like on his radar that you guys were two of a set? You know,
Man, how many Gungan
but-
cyborgs you hear about?
I mean, I don't know. I don't assume
Two.
everybody with a cyborg prosthesis is friends.
Yeah,
You're
but
talking about him earlier. I got a metal arm.
you go around searching for
Yeah.
cyborg Gungans, it's going to come up with two results: me and him.
I mean, hey, it's a small galaxy, but it's bigger than you think. Who knows? But that makes sense. That makes sense.
You're so really paranoid.
I wouldn't go that far. I don't think I'm that paranoid.
He is
And hey,
from
Lex,
inside the refresher. He is.
hey, Lex gives you like one of these looks, like you fucking serious right now?
And then Fabian whips around and looks at Halex and goes, I'm sorry. You don't get to look at me like that because, with all due respect, and Fabian like kind of has that moment of like, okay, like you got something going with her, so phrase how you say this carefully. You have contributed to that
very much
paranoia.
indicates that.
Huh?
She gives you a look that very much indicates that exact sentiment.
At a point in time, about 2-3 days ago, you were contributing to that paranoia. So I don't want to hear it from you.
He should have to roll to maintain a sexual relationship while saying what he's saying, or receive
Fabian,
some sort of psychic damage.
Fabian, your perspiration levels have increased drastically.
Do I have to roll, Michael?
No, you don't have to roll.
Okay.
What would he roll theoretically? Would it be like not persuasion, but not
Probably
deception?
just a
Roll for
charisma check,
Riz.
I guess.
Yeah,
Roll
maybe,
for
yeah,
Riz.
just
Yeah,
general
Riz
charisma,
check.
Yeah.
I mean,
Roll Riz. Roll Riz.
17.
Roll dexterity.
So
Mm,
you guys continue your journey. No, you are given the coordinates to the New Republic ship where Domric is currently based out of.
I don't want to put you on the spot. Have we ever gotten a name for this ship?
No,
Do you have one?
no.
That's it.
I'm gonna be so straight up with you. No. So you guys arrive at this
To
cruiser.
subscribe to the Armani Systems Patreon, and the first person to subscribe at $10 or higher gets to canonically name the New Republic ship that we're based out of this.
I reserve the right to veto the name.
Michael reserves.
Because I don't want someone naming the ship just a slur, you know?
Yeah. I want it to be named Bramblefuck Hippie Dip. Bramblefuck Hippie Dip.
I would name it that. But anyway, you guys land in Domric's cruiser. And you're escorted in.
Does this guy
Domric.
use a long rest?
Yeah, you guys take a long rest on the way there. So Domric meets you in the hangar. He says, all right, and you guys kind of wheel out the Doxos Revenge, and you see a couple of guys in hazmat suits come and take it and wheel it off. They'll be
You're
taking
welcome.
it to be disposed of, so that way don't have to
Vac
deal with
it
this shit
and
anymore.
vape it.
Well, probably don't vape it, but
No, like vaporize it.
well, you have to dismantle it in a very specific way
my
because of how
baby.
it's chemically concocted. We can go into all that later. So you guys wanted to talk to Zuso?
I don't know exactly what I'm going to say to Zuzo if I see him right now. So if y'all want to go talk to that reloading house loft cat dipshit of a Gungan, y'all can. Sage needs to have words with me so we can divide and conquer on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel really that strongly about the whole following up on Zuzu thing. I have also had people killed. You've killed people. After one nice shit and a night's sleep, I'm sort of just like, this tracks, honestly.
Well, one of y'all's got to go talk to him because I don't know what the fuck's gone down. And if I just bring this Gungan here, I don't want the two of them throwing hands.
All right, fine. I'll mediate it. Fine.
And Thalbor,
I
for
will
the
go
record,
and
I
try to.
understand that we've all killed, It's the fact that he put 4D in that kind of situation that does not sit well with me, and I do not think that is the kind of relationship we have fostered over the last 6 months.
I will go and own up to my breaking of the promise that
You
You
don't
didn't
have
do
to own
anything
up to
wrong.
shit.
You didn't do anything wrong. Anyway, while we're walking there,
Dan.
Thalbor just leans over to 4D, and Thalbor. This would be like the Tarantino-esque, like has nothing to do with the plot aside while you're driving. Like this, Thalbor goes. This is something I thought about obviously sometime over the last month in real life. Thalbor goes. So 4D, you've got a vocabulator unit that lets you speak basic, right? Somewhere in here.
Yes, that is how I am speaking to you right now.
Do you ever think about changing the accent? Can you change the accent? Like, what if you wanted to sound like you were like from the Amos? You know, you throw on a little bit of this. Would that be offensive?
Oh, I think that might be offensive for me to do that as a droid.
What if you wanted to do
Possibly.
like a
Yeah, a droid with an
like
accent
a-
would be horribly offensive.
what about a Nemoidian situation?
Yeah, I'm a
Would you do one of
lighter
those?
droid though, so I don't know if I can do that.
Oh, all right. I just
a
checked.
Nemoidian,
you know.
a Nemoidian. I think I could do a Nemoidian. Hold on 1 second here.
Sure.
Thalbor, every
back into space.
Oh, yeah.
Thalbor,
All right, you
every
try.
time you start to do an accent, you do notice a couple of the New Republic guys just kind of looking at you. Like, the fuck?
Just
Thalbor's like, I did business with an Nemoidian
You
one
sound
time.
like you're from
and
Coruscant.
He
There you
kept
go.
saying
Was that
stuff
good?
like legal. He kept asking
You
me to
sound
make
like-
things legal.
Oi, Governor, welcome to Coruscant. Is that good?
I think you're
Oi,
getting.
we'll be with the kid with the whinges there.
I'd like
How
to
was
think
that?
that 40 is saying this really loud, and Fabian is just hearing that without any of the context across the hangar.
See,
Oi,
in
oi,
Jared's
innit?
mind, I want to go,
Oi,
hey, you want to hear an
Coruscant, innit?
Alderani accent? Kaboom! Anyway,
All right. So before we get to Fabian, Thalbor and 40, you guys go down with Goru to the maintenance level. And Goru's like, so any thoughts about how you guys going to play this?
Well, I guess we're going to have you stand behind us.
Clearly,
going to
you are
approach him.
alive, so
We're going to say, you know, I'm used to dealing with way worse than Zuzo. You know, it's just, I would say, not to be alarming, but if you could think about an escape route, that'd be fun. You know, that'd be just think, maybe stand by the door.
How about Yusuf just 40? I'll trust Yusuf to protect me if something goes down. But if he comes at me, I'm throwing hands.
I hope it
That's
doesn't
valid.
come to that.
That is
I can't
valid.
hurt either
Misa got a
party.
fist cannon. I can use it if I have to.
Does
but I
that mean
don't
you're
wanna-
really good at punching, or that you have an actual fist that? shoots
No,
out
and
of
then
the
he
cannon?
like lifts his hand up, and like the wrist shoots up, and you see it. There's like an actual like cannon embedded in the wrist. He's like, "No, I mean Zuso helped me work on this back in the day, and I've made a few modifications since." But
Fabian from across the ship just. Oh, they got it.
A fist
Well.
cannon.
although Misa did have a rocket fist at one point, but I lost that in a bar fight after I punched someone with it. I
All
couldn't
right.
get it out of his face.
Okay. That sounds.
And at
Same
that
thing.
point, the turbo lift door opens, and it's fairly dim down on the tech level. It's pretty low light, and Zuso's there waiting for you all, and he goes, "You guys better have a damn good reason for he being here."
All right. Just listen up. Look. Sometimes when it's kind of like, it's that thing of you.
40
I actually don't
kinda-
really care enough to
40
justify
kinda
this
like
to you.
pushes,
You tried to have our
Thalbor to
son
the-
kill someone, which
But
I didn't think
Thalbor-
was that big a deal. But Fabian made a rare good Fabian point, which was that you should not have put him in the middle of it. You want to kill someone, you do it yourself, or you hire a contract killer like I do.
What were you saying, 40?
40 was going to say, I'm sorry, friend Zuzo. I broke your promise, but I had a very good reason.
Don't apologize to him. Don't apologize to him.
40, we've been over this. He's not gonna change. He's still the selfish Gungan he always was. All he care about is the money.
All right. I cannot believe that I'm about to get into a, look at us, look at what we've been through, think about friendship type speech, but I'm gonna. Could you not have said the same for your pal Thalbor Sheems not 6 months ago?
Well, I mean, I like Yusa.
Oh, so this is a you're not a big boyo. You can't put the past behind you. Are you aware of the fact that our pal Fabian used to checks for like New Republic like officials and everything, scans the room. Used to kill people for the Empire, and not like in the not letting food into impoverished areas, blockades way of killing people. I'm talking the You know this. He's way worse than anything Goro's ever done. Just historically speaking.
And Goro,
you hang out with him.
And Goro says, look, Zuso, a lot's happened between us. And we may never be okay again. And that's okay. But for right now, we still got a common enemy. And we still got to put our heads together for the benefit of the galaxy. So if we can put it aside for just a couple days, and then you can go back to hating me all you want. But don't you want to get this metal son of a bitch? And Thalbor, I would like you to make a persuasion check at advantage.
Sure.
Some Andor level dialogue.
My persuasion is already plus 11, so we'll see how this goes.
Probably well, but we'll see.
This son of a bitch.
All right.
Don't you want to fight these bastards for real?
Don't you want to fight these bastards for real?
The rebellion's not here. It's flown away. There's a whole galaxy of Gungans out there for you, sir.
Bunch of metal pieces.
How do I switch? Sorry, in the dice roller that I'm in, I'm just trying to see how I switch to advantage. Oh, okay. Cool.
Okay.
I get it. Yeah, I'm on dnddiceroller.com, so I just have
I got you.
Right button. All right. All right, let's roll. All.
He's like, did you see where that guy was walking his cat in Andor, Dad? Can we go do a walk?
He gets you again.
I kind of got me a little bit on the arms.
Fat Kitty used to claw me
All
apart.
right, so the higher result is a 19.
Okay. So Zuso kind of sighs and he's like, okay, fine. Just for a couple of days. And then we gonna you. And Gore's like, fine, whatever. Show me what you got. Let's see what we can do. And so you guys kind of step back for a second and watch as they both kind of head toward a couple terminals that have a bunch of code splayed out across it. And they start going back and forth with tech jargon that's so fast, it almost just sounds like they're just yelling in another language. But they're like bouncing off each other. And one of them's like, well, what if it's a double biohexagram? And they're shooting ideas back and forth super quickly.
Did you say biohexacrypt?
Yeah.
Like in Last Jedi?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite dumb space words.
Yeah, they just start throwing out technobabble like that, and you guys are like, oh, they might actually be making some progress now. In terms
I'm like my father when I try to explain YouTube, is what he
Yes.
said. So, okay.
So, meanwhile, Fabian, you're going to talk to Sage, who's in a different hangar area. Currently hanging out near one of his personal ship, rather. He's sitting around, kind of heavily contemplating when he sees you, and he waves you over.
Heard you wanted to talk.
I did. Obviously, this whole Karlo situation's been weighing on me, and
Of course.
I don't know. The stakes of all of this have gotten more real since the attack on Vuma.
I'm
Most
sorry
of
we
it.
couldn't be there to help.
No,
Too
no,
many fronts
no,
to fight this
no,
battle.
Don't apologize.
I know.
You were doing the right thing.
I know. You just know I wish I could have been there for that specifically. But like I said, too many fronts, and that is the intention. You know, if there's one thing we can hold our heads high about, it's the fact that we have Salvage on the back foot. He's getting sloppy. He's getting scared. He's acting erratically. This is good for us.
Yes.
And I'm sorry I came at a heavy cost to the Guardians, but what are you thinking about your kid?
Are you confident that he could be an ally?
I'm confident that it's worth a chance. I'm confident that if he turns on us, we can handle him. And I'm confident that if he is as despondent and hard to get to listen to, that Salvage is going to have a hard time selling him on what he wants to do. In the event he ends up alone in a room with Salvage, Salvage also has to fight him. And it's going to be a lot harder for Salvage to get him out of here with functioning parts to be able to put the implant in if he's not in carbonite. He is on a silver platter, a chromium platter. If he stays
a Dunium platter, even.
Dunium. There you go.
I don't know. You're just a
A
plastic.
hazy and smelt platter.
That's conductor.
I got to do the
I'm trying to think of all the fucking dumbass metals I never use.
all the
in
alloys.
Survivor. Survivor has like 30 metals that you will never use because they're ugly.
Yeah, just absolutely hideous. Just cheeks, straight cheeks. But yeah, I have a plan to thaw him out if you want to go along with it. I'm going to be very upfront with you. I have a couple fail safes built in to that plan in the event he comes out swinging, and none of them are pretty. I am aware of the fact that if he turns on us from jump, how you feel about it, I'm not willing to put the other bastards in harm's way to save him.
No, I'm in agreement on that. If first sign of violence, take him out.
Would you like to hear my plan?
Yes.
I will ask 4D if he wants to help me on this for extra firepower. If he does not, I don't expect him to, but we're going to grab some vac suits. If you want to be in there with me, we can. I want to take him into the airlock. That is because if he turns, this is the cleanest way to do it and guarantee that we can drop him. 4D can magnetize to the ground. I'm sure they have vac suits with magnetizing boots that we will be able to stay firmly planted. If he comes out of that slab ready to fight, we vac him.
All right.
It's cold. It's clinical. I don't like it like that, but it gives us time to neutralize him. I don't want it to go that way.
Fucking
And if we're on
Anakin Dark Deeds playing in the background. Jesus.
Don't put that on the Ex-Inquisitor like that.
Fucking back your kit. Jesus.
No, that's a solid plan. Obviously,
And if he turns on us in the field, if it makes you feel better, if you're willing to, you can join us on any other operations we have to do on the road here so that you're there in the event we have to go toe to toe with Karlo.
Yeah.
But that's what I got for you. If 4D wants to help, he's more than welcome to. I would like him to. If he doesn't, he doesn't. That's fine. Between you and me and the airlock, I think we can handle him if he comes out swinging.
all right. Gather your forces, your friends.
And
Oh.
Fabian goes on to his comm link.
I'll get the block moved to the nearest airlock and assemble a squadron of New Republic forces as well.
Donrick, this is Fabian. Get 4D and Thobor and some vac suits with some mag boots, bars. Meet us at the nearest airlock. We're going to take a crack at thawing out Karlo.
Vac suit and mag boot sound like two guys Joe Biden would tell a story about from like his childhood.
Vac suit and mag suits, you're a bad guy.
Yeah, we used to go. We get ice cream for a nickel.
With vac suit.
Leg hair.
I was down there with mag boot. Folks, let me tell you.
They're
I'm
all
serious.
part
I'm
of the
being
Corn Pop
serious right now.
Syndicate.
I'm just
The
serious.
Corn Pop Syndicate is.
And by the way,
By the
guess
way,
what?
No joke.
So,
that's the truth, Jack.
Thobor and 40, you are both brought up a few floors on the ship to an airlock, not being told the context of the plan. Halex
What ship is this? The SS Tony Gilroy? What are we on right now?
Halex meets you guys there, and as soon as you see her, she's like, "You're part of Fabian's new plan. Congratulations."
Oh, wonderful. Well, is this one one of the good ones, or is this one of the ones that's going to get my ass beat?
It's a real 50-50.
I
Alright.
trust
Part of the
Fabian, but I am quite intrigued. But I
Fabian?
want me to do.
Let's hear it.
So Fabian gives the pitch to everybody.
Yeah.
Specifically asks 4D and Halex if they would be willing to join him in the airlock for the process of thawing out Karlo. Fabian wants Thobor kind of behind the blast door with the New Republic reinforcements so that we have one of our guys on the outside who is aware of how we would handle this situation if comms break down, if there's any situation where we cannot thoroughly communicate, there's somebody we know and trust on the other side who can help us, and kind of gives the pitch and specifically asks that 4D and Halex, if they are willing to join him in there so that they have like actual firepower. Because, I mean, in terms of gameplay, Fabian and Sage are melee guys. So like we'll go in swords and lightsabers swinging, but some crossfire as well would be helpful if like the airlock door doesn't open as quickly as we need it to.
And she looks at Thobor and says, "It would be really funny to see Thobor in there instead, though."
It would
Funny
be hilarious.
To whom? To whom would that be comedic?
I would find it very funny.
Be a little
that
funny.
is so funny. That
40
is
finds it
great.
funny.
Awesome.
I don't want him to
Wonderful.
die though, but that
Thank
is
you.
really funny.
Yeah,
No,
and
you'd
he
be
probably
wonderful.
would as soon as anything
He would
went wrong.
instantly die. Oh my.
Honestly,
Anyway,
it might be peaceful to just end it. It might just be better than what we're doing right now. One more salvage account. I can't survive another one. So yeah.
You shot and killed him in cold blood 2 days ago.
Well,
And you
I
watched
thought.
me fade him on Aldani.
And
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Who among us has killed a Mandalorian? Please raise your hand.
I mean, I guess that's true.
And Fabian, you do see that Halex does briefly raise her hand as well.
Fabian's like, I beat one up. I took away one's right to go to heaven, apparently, but
oh no. I don't like this, but I will do it for you, Fabian.
4D, obviously I want the firepower. If you're not comfortable with it, it is okay to tell me no.
Let's do this.
All right. Get ready to magnetize. Get us 3 vac suits ASAP.
And where are my New
Magnetized?
Republic? Where are my New Republic reinforcements?
There are like a handful of New Republic soldiers like ready to go, like essentially outside the airlock with all of you.
Describe these guys to me.
Grizzled,
What am I working with here?
solid jaw,
Meat on their bones. Red-blooded Americans.
couple in flight suits, a couple in more just like traditional like beige rebel uniforms.
Don't care, afraid to carry their wife's purses in public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real
So these are all
masculine alphas.
are these all human men because we're trying to win an Emmy, or are we having fun here?
There's one Ishiki.
Okay.
And that's just
Thank
because
you.
we had the
Thank
we had the
Thank
mask
you.
in backstage.
Yeah, there's one Ishitib and there's one prune face that's CGI in the background.
Yeah. But the
Aw.
Ishi Tib is like earth tone. It's like
Great
earth
for
tone.
the
It's not
fucking
that bright
actor to
green.
play fucking prune face.
Yeah.
He's just a CGI asset.
Yeah.
He's just doing idle animation in the back.
Yeah.
They doing Fortnite dances back there.
So you guys have brought the vac suits, and Don Rick is there with you all now, and he says, I don't know if this is the smartest thing I've ever seen you do, Fabian, or the dumbest.
Guess we're gonna find out.
All right, so you and Halex put on the vac suits. 40, you don't need one, so you just walk.
I
right
can
out
survive
there.
in space.
And I am right that we can like magnetize boots
Yeah.
here because like they're designed to go in. Okay.
It would be really funny if it wasn't though. or something like-
a lot.
And so Sage goes in there with you as well. The carbonite block is currently standing straight up. And Fabian, you're the first to approach it. Are you gonna unthaw it?
Fabian, at a little bit of a distance, reaches out with the force to like push the buttons to begin the thawing process.
So you doop, doop, doop. And very slowly a red aura starts to appear on the metal as the thawing process begins.
Fabian is like white knuckling his lightsaber.
Thought we're on the other side of the door, looking through the port. Oh no, he's aura farming. Oh no.
Fabian, you do see on the little side panel of this carbonite block starts flashing red as the thawing is going on.
Fabian runs over to see if he can help.
You run over and you check and see that there is some sort of error with the life signs. And as you're trying to decipher it, it finishes thawing and something does fall out of the carbonite block. A partially decomposed corpse that 40 you recognize as the body of your former master.
Oh my god.
Well, I hate that.
And Halex is like pointing the blaster at it. Is he dead?
Friend.
He already has him.
What are they
And
doing?
Sage is like, that's not him. That's
What's happening?
That's Glenson.
What's that? I'm looking at the New Republic.
Fabian like runs out while he's like ripping off like the vac suit like helmet and shit, and just
Why is everyone standing around like they look so mortified? What's going on?
Fabian comes out. He goes, "It's 40's old master. He already has Karlo."
Well,
When
we're cooked.
when could the carbonite have been switched out, Sage?
It's been under lock and key here this whole time. It would have had to have been before Exarian. That's why he felt comfortable revealing all this to us. He stole him months ago.
Wonderful.
Zuzo, Goru, how are we looking up there?
Where did he get my master's body?
We buried him on Vuma 4D.
40, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Grave robbing son of a bitch.
Zuzo, Goro, come
He's
in
kinda got
now.
off in the corner,
And you hear
like
a
listening,
New
but-
Republic guy pipe in and be like, they're working right now. They might be onto something though. I think it's kind of hard to follow what they're saying. They're going really fast, but I think they might have something.
Fabian is in full panic mode and sprints to the nearest turbo lift to get to wherever they are.
And Halex like grabs you by the arm and like stops you and be like, stop. If you panic, this is only going to go worse. Take a fucking breath. Now, if you're right and he's had this body, he's had it for months. A few extra seconds isn't going to hurt us.
We have Tuck's comms channel, right?
Yeah.
I start trying to call up Tuck so we can get everything this midi-chlorian scientist has. Every bit of research to understand everything she knew and how far along salvage could possibly be.
I'll try and get her to forward everything she has to you. Give me just a few minutes. Already sent her off with my contacts. Let me see if I can get a hold of her.
Okay, thank you.
Well, it's great knowing that we have been months behind our objective this entire time without knowing it. That tracks for the group. Fantastic. Wonderful. Awesome. And we've re-traumatized our son now. That's great.
It was worth a shot.
Fabian, in like one last burst of frustration, just like launches like what's left of the carbonite slab into the airlock door with the force. Just it's straight back.
Mm-hmm.
I think 40 picks up his master's body and puts it in a crate to take him back to bury him again.
Yeah, they bring you like a body bag to kind of put him in.
Yeah, but he's been kind of holding him.
And like
this whole time.
you hold him like Shmi Skywalker style.
No, yeah, it's like 100% like that. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And Halex does kind of come up to you and go, "I'm sorry, kid.
It is okay. Thank you for.
We're gonna make him pay for it.
I just want to lay him back to rest, and I want to rid the galaxy of this evil forever."
We're going to. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
Let's go see what the Gungans have cooked up."
All right. Oh, motherfucker. Oh, Michael.
Hey, you remember when I said you'd never know what hit you?
Michael, when I catch you, Michael, when I catch you, it is straight hands. It is straight hands. The 1-2 I'm giving you is going to be going to be felt through the generations of the McCoy line.
Yeah, all of your white boy sons are gonna know.
Jared's starting up the Hatfields and the McCoy feud one more time.
It's the Bachmans and the McCoys.
So you guys head down to the tech level again. And Goru and Zuso are again like yelling things at each other across the room. And eventually Zuso does look at you guys and say, "We think we got something."
We need something.
Let's hear it. Let's turn this day around, please.
Okay, Misa going to explain it in simplest terms possible. So anytime in the past we tried to, pinpoint where salvage is broadcasting from, we would just trace it from convoy to convoy in an endless cycle, right?
Yeah.
Turns out it's only appearing that it's going from convoy to convoy. You see, it's a very complicated encryption that uses a... You know what? We found where he's broadcasting from.
Where?
Thank you.
And he pulls up a holo map and just points to an empty bit of space. Right here.
So is this Is this just a satellite? Is this a world? Is this one of those like
No
they deleted
planet?
it from the archive memory situation? We've
No
been down that
planet,
road.
just in the outer rim. We're thinking most likely a capital ship.
Great. Love those.
It's the only thing we can think of with the broadcasting power to do all this.
Out of game, Michael, if this ends up being the ultimate payoff to your Bombad creepypasta, that it's being broadcast from that poor son of a bitch in the fucking escape pod, I'm gonna book a flight to come kick your ass next week. Beat the brakes off of you.
In-game 4D goes, oh, fuck.
Yeah, but I hear there's a whole lot of New Republic boyos that are going to be helping us this time.
Yeah, we have them outnumbered and outgunned by a magnitude. We have no way of knowing what the ship is, do we?
No clue. We can do what we can to see if it gives
For
off
all
any
we
sort
know,
of
it's a fucking
signal.
super star destroyer. Like, for all we know, it's what's left of the fucking Executor. All right.
So, you guys bring this intel to Donrick, and we'll start formulating plans.
Yeah, I calm Donrick and tell him.
Okay, send me that intel. I'm going to start calling the entire fucking fleet.
Copy. Consider it done.
And make sure you send all the wings. Not just, the big ones. I'm talking
Every letter of
E.
alphabet squad.
I'm talking you. I'm talking the
I'm calling the whole
A-wing.
fleet, Thawbor. You're getting all of them.
I'm just making sure because sometimes
A-wings are controversial.
people hate the K-wing. Out of game for a second.
I thought you said A-wing. Like, A-wings.
No. People love A, but out of game for a second.
We love A, folks. Come on.
At Celebration in Japan, Filoni, when talking about Ahsoka season 2, he said, because they showed like a model of the hangar that they're building, and there's a few E-wings in it, and he's like, yeah, there's some E-wings. He's like, don't worry, guys, we're gonna have you covered. We're gonna have all the wings. We're gonna have X-wings, Y-wings. He's like, we're gonna have wings I can't even tell you about. And so people started speculating, like, what the fuck does that mean? So we're on the show floor after, and Andy's like, I hope he doesn't mean the K-wing. I fucking hate the K-wing. And then some random nerd, some random guy who was just walking by, stops and comes over and goes, yeah, fuck the K-wing. The K-wing sucks. And then keeps walking.
I've never seen the K-wing before.
I was going to say, I've never seen this.
It's Legends only. It's cool. I like the K-wing. It's not. I don't have a problem with it. I forget what books and comics it comes from, but anyway.
So
K-wings are canon in this show.
They are. In fact, it's a fleet of exclusively K-wings.
Oh, cool. The KKK fleet is what you're saying.
Oh no!
Fabian will be flying as
the Ionized
leader.
Basterds have been canceled. You guys make your way to the bridge of the ship as Donrick is currently calling in the entire fleet. And you guys can see from the viewport that there are several ships coming out of hyperspace. You see, like, Home 1 fucking shows up. There's, like,
Whoa.
they're bringing in, like,
Who's
the real
Raddus
shit.
going to show up?
And so Donrick's like, all right, Leia's sending everyone our way now. We need to figure out a game plan. Which is hard when we don't know what exactly we're going into.
Well, we've got coordinates. We've got a fleet. I'm no expert, but someone tells me we'll just go that way, and then suddenly good or bad things will happen. That seems to be generally how you all operate.
And in the past, it's typically been get you guys boots on the ground and do what we can from there. Hope for the best.
Okay,
that's encouraging. So is
I
there
mean,
going to be
look,
is there going to be a briefing on Home 1, and if so, can we go?
They already had their briefing. This is our briefing right here, right now.
But we don't even have a circle table.
Do we have a hologram?
We don't even.
He brings up a hologram of just the empty space, and he's like, "This is where we're going."
Is there? There's usually supposed to be Mon Cal sitting up on the balconies, like doing stuff,
Do you just
typing
have you
away.
learned everything about war from holodramas?
Yeah. Am I wrong? If I took a shuttle over to Home One right now, you're gonna tell me that I'm not gonna see at least 4 to 5 Mon Cal up there just playing fucking Galaga on the second floor?
Look, I'm sorry that the oppression of their world led to so many of them joining the Rebel Alliance.
And I'm saying this doesn't really feel like the experience I expected.
Look, Thobor, I'm used to this me being surrounded by the same fucking guy. So I get it. It also doesn't feel right to me that I'm not hearing the same voice 80 times around me.
Well, anyway, I guess we'll just get flying then while everyone cool is over there on Home One. This is more like apartment one over here.
Do you think that General
Incredible.
Syndulla's over there?
Probably.
So
I sure know she's not going to hug anybody.
I wonder if she's wearing those orange flight pants. No reason. No
this is
reason
the
at all.
worst episode we've ever done.
Hey, so far, because I said that last time.
No, the last one was definitely raunchier than this.
100%. Are we able to like broadcast on this comms channel Salvage has?
Probably not. I mean, you could. Let me make a technology check for Zuso real quick.
Okay.
40, download Joyo's greatest hits just in case we can get on his frequency.
Because once we come out
I
of
love how
hyperspace-
you assume that I don't already have that downloaded on my memory banks and play it every time I recharge.
I love the idea that the moment we come out of hyperspace, all that plays on like Junkyard Leviathan 2 is
We have to drown out their comms with something.
That's
I learned
that
this
Nile.
from the Nile. Bitch.
Yeah. So
The Zuso
Zuso's
sends her regards, cocksucker.
Zuso's not able to like reverse patch into Salvage's frequency to like send a message that way or anything. But you guys, while they're getting the fleet assembled, you do have a little bit of time to talk with each other, have any conversations before we you make the jump to hyperspace and start heading toward the final phase, it would seem.
It would seem.
You'll never know it hit you.
I mean,
don't
I'm
like
assuming
you.
we're like the bastards themselves are getting ready.
Yeah, probably on the bastard.
I think Fabian's probably the first one in the ship and is probably like very deeply in meditation.
Mhm.
Like really trying to center himself, like really trying to lock in. Like what happened here feels like a really profound affront. And he is trying to balance the I want to kill this motherfucker because it's personal, and this monster needs to be brought to justice, and how those two things don't necessarily cancel each other out, but he knows he's going to be sloppy if he focuses on the one over the other, and is very much trying to avoid that, very much trying to avoid a repeat of the Vera Casino and how all of that. I think he's very deeply like in meditation, not even in his quarters, just like he's the first person in there and he's just like in like the main cabin, just kind of like clearly meditating, like Qui-Gon style, like near the Dejarik table.
And so Lex is sort of talking with you, 4D. She's like, look, hey, if you're lucky, this may be the last fight you have to do for a while. If we can end this whole thing here and now when he doesn't know we're coming, maybe then, I don't know. What is it you want to do after all this, 40?
I want to be with my friends. But first, we're going to kick his metal ass into a sun. That's what Fabian would say.
Yeah, it is.
If you'll excuse me, I'll be back to the ship in a moment.
Hey, do what you got to do, kid.
Okay. And like 40 goes, and he has like just a quiet little moment, like puts his hand on the bag that his master is in and stuff. I think we're gonna leave it on the capital ship and stuff like that for right now. Okay. But like, yeah, just has a quiet moment like that, and then fade to black or whatever. I don't know. Like we cut to someone else.
Okay.
Thalbor,
like what are you doing to kind of prepare for all this?
Well, Thalbor is freshening up a little bit. You know, Kimmy's floating around his head. Yeah, shaving a little. Kimmy's floating around his head. He's talking to Kimmy. You can hear, you know, after 40 had walked away, Thalbor and Kimmy are having like, you know, one of those like basic binary conversations, owner and droid. And it's very clearly Thalbor stupidly, but also earnestly talking to Kimmy about whether or not they have souls because of 40 grieving. And then Kimmy is, you know, explaining like she thinks she has a soul, but Kimmy is also like kind of in my head, like somewhat of a child.
Yeah.
She's like an assistant, but she's also like a spunky. She's kind of like little Leia in my brain of like how she functions. So Kimmy's just like, I don't even know what a soul is, but I get sad sometimes. And then Thalbor is like, I get sad sometimes too, but that's the clinical depression. So you could just hear them sort of bantering back and forth about like that. Thalbor's looking, you know, Thalbor's pulling out the blaster and being like, how do you recharge these? Like he's just like so clearly not ready for this moment, but like,
yeah,
what the fuck else is he gonna do? You know?
And Fabian, while you're meditating, you do feel Halex kind of like rub your back a little bit.
And I was also going to say, while Fabian is meditating, like his lightsabers are on his belt, but like he is like kind of like doing it with Jax's lightsaber in front of him, like kind of like coming to terms with like everything that has happened has kind of led to this moment kind of thing. I meant to say that earlier. Sorry.
Yeah, you're all good. She kind of like very gently rubs your back for just a moment and then kind of sits in the cabin with you. Doesn't say anything, doesn't interrupt you at all. Just lets you know essentially that she is there.
I really hope we never have to do this again.
He probably doesn't know we're coming, which gives us an edge.
We've spent this entire chase thinking we had a leg up on him, and he has had a force-sensitive body this entire time.
That doesn't guarantee that he's been able to successfully do anything. He doesn't have the Doxos revenge anymore, so he can't, you know, destroy the galaxy in that way. Even if he does successfully implant himself, it's one force sensitive.
The horrific things he could do with the power of the Force. I've seen what absolute monsters can do with that gift. It's every time we get this close to the end, I worry I'm leading everybody into a disaster.
You're not alone, Fabian.
I know.
And now more than ever, we got the whole fucking galactic government backing us up.
He's not getting away this time.
Nowhere to run.
Fabian kind of like rises like straight up while Jax Kalen's lightsaber is still levitating kind of at like waist level. Mm-hmm. And he grabs it and puts it like in his belt on his back behind his coat.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually like in his coat.
Yeah. Okay. She says, all right. When everyone's ready, we'll get a move on.
All right. Fabian hops on his comms. Sabor, 4D, we ready to move out?
As ready as we'll ever be.
Let's go.
Mount up.
No sleep till.
I love that we probably all of us had very different songs in mind for that needle drop as we're all getting ready to make the jump.
Alrighty.
Is the bastard gonna like jump like out of the cabin?
Yeah, you guys exit the hangar and then make the jump to hyperspace. Most of the fleet has already jumped, so you guys are jumping slightly, like maybe a minute or two after.
Okay.
Typical. Didn't even get to fucking jump with home one.
You did jump with home one.
Oh, good.
Michael was like, all right.
In the cockpit.
It's okay.
Home one. This is the ionized bastard. Home one. Do you copy? Waiting for anyone to say anything.
We copy, bastard.
Home one. Who's on board?
Just don't answer after that.
Home one.
You just Thobor just wants to hear Akbar say bastard. That's all he wants.
Ionized bastard. This is Admiral Akbar.
You can't have anything anymore. You can't have anything.
Admiral Radis.
You guys, comm channel does light up around this point, though, from another New Republic ship.
Fabian clicks it. This is the ionized bastard.
Good thing I didn't have Jason here for this. This is General Syndulla. We'll be guiding you in when we make the jump out of hyperspace.
General Syndulla, please stand by. Please hold for one moment. Thobor hits mute. Guys. Guys. You know that these people are a bunch of boring virgins, but this right here, this is a hero. This is somebody even scumbags have looked up to. All right, this is huge. You hear the stories. This is incredible. Anyway, unmute.
And as soon as you unmute, she goes, "Did you just mute me?"
We were being very complimentary.
Yeah, General Syndulla, this is Captain Fabian Martel. We're honored to have you on this mission. Just be careful out there. Salvage is a tricky son of a bitch. May the force be with you.
Likewise, and she got to the comm channel.
Oh, hell
and
yeah.
Around this point, you guys do hear Donrick as well. Calm you guys.
Bastard, go.
We just got out of hyperspace, and you're not going to believe what we're seeing.
Good, bad?
And as that happens, you guys come out of hyperspace. And you see what he was reacting to. You don't see a capital ship, but instead you see a husk of a space station. Recognizable to many of you. This is the Gundark's nest. Or at least what's left of it. It looks like the pits were severely damaged in the attack. The heap is relatively intact. And you know that's where he is.
Are we able to calm him yet?
You can try and open up a comm channel if you want. Yeah.
I would like to try and open up a comm channel to the Gundark's nest.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you say?
Just roll? Or
just you can open up a comm channel. You just don't know if you'll get any response on it.
I just want you to know we're coming. We're pissed. You're not getting away this time. Your life is forfeit. And you won't know what hit you, you son of a bitch.
And there's a long, long silence. And you can see on your comm channel that the message was received. But Salvage has not said anything back. And for a moment,
he left us on red.
For a moment, it fills you with like oh, he's scared. And then that feeling turns to being deeply unsettled. The fact that Salvage has not taken this opportunity to gloat or to take jabs back at you. Something is very wrong. And before you know it, Fabian, for like a split second, you black out. And like next thing you know, you are like on your knees on the ground, feeling a disturbance in the force that you have never felt the likes of before. Something, it almost feels like something has like stabbed through the force. Something that should not be present in the force, that should have never come near the force, has forced its way into it. And there is reverberations throughout the force itself that something incredibly unnatural is happening. Something, the only way you can think to describe it is that a pure madness has touched the force and just like reached out and felt everything. And in turn, the madness has only festered and deepened, and the force is feeling the effects of all of that. And you know, he's done it. And that's where we're going to end this episode of Ionized Bastard.
Damn.
I want to die.